How did I gain 10 kilogram of muscle and how did I lose 5 kilogram of fat in only 1 year while working in management consulting? Hi everyone, my name is Johannes and I'm a strategy consultant, and on this channel I share my thoughts, learnings and experiences about consulting, business and mindset. If you're new to this channel, then please subscribe to it and also leave a thumb up. This would really support the channel and help to grow it. And today we have a mindset topic and a fitness topic. We talk about my personal body transformation in management consulting. So we will talk about how I gained 10 kilogram of muscle and lost 5 kilogram of fat while I worked in management consulting. And to give you some background about my situation that I was in last year. So I had or still have this typical consulting lifestyle. Last year was my 3rd year in consulting. So I was a senior associate or senior consultant. And I was working, those typical 60 to 80 hours per week in consulting. Only little time for sports, heavy traveling activities. So I was away almost every week. And of course, if you travel a lot, it's really hard to have a good diet. So you are at the airport very often, at the hotels. So this was a huge issue always. And what I did, I always did a lot of sports, but it was more cardio related. So I went outside, I went jogging, I was hiking and stuff like that. I even at one point ran a marathon and did a couple of semi-marathons, but it was all more cardio related. And I really always had kind of struggles and, issues with building muscle. But I said to myself, come on, there are several reasons why it's worth, to build some muscle and to focus more on your health and on your fitness. Because first of all, obviously you look and feel better, and it's not the look point that is too important for me, but more like the feeling. Because obviously, and I can totally confirm that, if you invest more in your fitness, you obviously feel better, you look better. It's much easier for you to communicate to other people because, you have just much higher energy. So those are several reasons that I had. Also, I wanted to increase my confidence. Not that I had an issue with confidence, but typically if you are in a boardroom with many senior people who are either broader than you or taller than you, then I think it really helps if you invest in your fitness, if you have a good body posture, if you have a good presence. It really helps you to get more confidence, especially if you present, for example, in front of a senior management board, for example. So my goal was to gain 10 kilogram of muscle and to lose 5 kilogram of fat in 1 year. So this was the setting last year, and I can tell you I achieved this goal. So after 1 year, I have 10 kilogram more of muscle and I have less fat than I had last year. And today I want a little bit, talk about how I made that, what were my strategies. I want to talk a little bit about the mindset that was related to that. I want to talk about the fitness and diet strategies that I applied. And of course, at the end of this video, I will show you some pictures. And this should just give you some orientation, because on my Instagram channel, people regularly ask me about my fitness routine, and I figured out that this is probably something that people are very interested in, because in consulting, it's not very easy to maintain that healthy lifestyle. So I thought, okay, why not sharing my experiences? I'm certainly not at the end of my journey, so I see that more like a foundation. So in terms of, goals that I have, I certainly want to go further, but at least, it's a good time after 1 year to, to take a break, to kind of reflect a little bit and to share the experiences and the learnings that I had. And hopefully this brings value to you. Good. So let's talk about the mindset first. Basically, I applied 5 steps. And those are also the steps that I apply if I want to achieve some ambitious goals. Because I went to a fitness trainer, they measured my body weight and body fat. And I told him that I want to gain 10 kilogram of muscles while losing 5 kilogram of fat. And the first thing that they said to me was, Johannes, this is a nice and ambitious goal, but it's very, very unlikely that you achieve that, because, typically this is something that only, people achieve who are, really, really focusing on their body, like, aspiring bodybuilders, or, very young people who still go to school, who just have the time to do that. So very unlikely that you, with your consulting lifestyle, achieve that goal. So I said to myself, okay, you maybe have to apply some mindset strategies in order to hit that goal. And I did basically 5 steps. So first of all, I set a very clear goal and also focused on visualization. So I really researched some pictures of, what people look like that achieved the goal, and tried to visualize myself in that body. Also, I was very specific. Okay, so I calculated like kind of, what kind of body weight I would have at the end, what kind of body fat percentage, and really calculated with that, and really, took my idea into a very, very concrete goal, and also tried to visualize it in order to have it always in front of me. The second step was that I made it a must. And this basically means that you don't only make the commitment to yourself, but that you also make the commitment to other people. Because the thing is, if you only commit to yourself, if you set a goal for yourself, it's sometimes very, very hard, because, life just happens, work and life as a management consultant just happens. And it's very easy, to prioritize over, your work over your fitness goals, for example, because you say, okay, of course I had the goal, but it's not that bad if I don't achieve it. The trick here is that you also communicate to other people. And what I did was that I made a bet with my friends. I bet a lot of money that I would achieve that goal. And this forced me, and this is a kind of mental trick that I really like to apply, this kind of forced me to really achieve that goal no matter what, because first of all, I didn't want to pay the money to my friends as a penalty, and I also obviously I didn't want to kind of blame myself in front of my friends, because I didn't want it to be the guy who set that goal and then didn't achieve it. So this was step number 2. Then step number 3 is that you create a frame. And this basically means that you try to get rid of that aspect of self-discipline. Because, for example, if you just train for yourself and you have to apply discipline every time that you are tired and force yourself to go to the gym, it becomes much easier if you build a frame that forces you to do what you set out to do. What I did was that I hired a personal trainer, and the reason why I did that was actually to 80% was that I had a frame and that I had someone who forced me to come. Because if you book a personal trainer, if you pay a lot of money for the personal trainer, then you better go there and do the workout, because you don't want to let down the trainer, or you don't want to waste your money. So this is something that I applied, and this really, really helped me kind of to stick to my routine and to really apply or do what I had to do in order to achieve my goal. Well, step number 4 is that you really have to work hard. And what that means is that if you have some time, if you block 1 hour for doing the workouts, that you don't waste the time by being inefficient. It's rather that you really focus on that 1 hour and give it all you have in order to get the best results out of that 1 hour. So this is step number 4. And step number 5, of course, is staying persistent and not giving up. Because I can definitely say that after 1 year, there were a lot of ups, but there were also many downs. Times where I didn't really expect to achieve my goals, times where it was really hard because work was very intense, and I had to do those hard and heavy workouts at the weekend. So there were many times where I thought about giving up, but the key here is really to stick to your goal, stay persistent, showing up every day, and just never giving up. So those are the 5 mindset steps and tips that I can give and that I applied. And I really can say, that those steps apply to every goal that you set for yourself. And this is also what I apply if I set goals for myself. Those are the 5 steps typically, and they really help to achieve great things. So after talking about the mindset, let's talk about the fitness program. So there were three main areas that I focused on. The first one was the nutrition, second was the training, and then of course the supplements. So if we talk about nutrition, probably the biggest change that I made was that I went from being a vegetarian for like 7 or 8 years to eating fish and meat again. So I have to say something about that. So first of all, I definitely plan to go back to become a vegetarian, at some point of my life again. And there are many people who say, okay, you can also stay in shape as a vegetarian and as a vegan. And I totally agree. The only reason why I chose to eat fish and some meat again was that as a consultant, it's very, very hard to get the protein, to get the right nutrition and macros that you need in order to stay in shape. Because the issue is, if you travel a lot and if you eat most of the time at the hotel or at at the restaurants at your client's side, typically what you get as a vegetarian is very, very carb intensive. So you get maybe the pasta with some sauce, or maybe rice with something, or in the hotel there's only, the only vegetarian is a meal is to eat, breakfast is to eat some bread with, some cheese or something like that. So it made it really hard for me, to have a low carb but high protein diet while traveling. I'm totally with you if you are working from home, or if you don't have this travel lifestyle, or if you just have more time to prepare, then it's certainly possible to also achieve the same thing probably as a vegetarian. I just realized that, I cannot concentrate and focus on everything. So I said, okay, in order to achieve that goal, I, temporarily included fish and meat again in my diet just to see if it works out. But again, I first of all plan to get back to be a vegetarian at some point. And I definitely agree that this is possible also as a vegetarian. Then my diet was that I, obviously, tried to get a lot of protein. So like 3 grams per body weight on average. This was my daily intake. And of course, tried to avoid carbs. So I had low carbs, or at least, no carbs at some days. This is what I did. And one recommendation that I can give to you is that you really prepare your meal and make that a priority. What I did was that I experimented with like prepared meals. So in Germany, there are services like Fit Meal or Prep My Meal. And, there you can order your meals. There you can track your the macros, and this really helps you, to kind of get control over your diet. This kind of helps you to, control the calories that you take in, the macros, and this was kind of a game changer because yes, training was important, but I think the most important thing was definitely the diet that I changed and really focusing on that. Then, of course, the training also was important. So I trained 3 times per week for 1 hour. My training days were typically, at the beginning, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then it changed to Thursday evening, Friday and Saturday, sorry. So this was not optimal. My fitness trainer always recommended, to have more breaks between the training units. But obviously, as a consultant, this is hard to implement. So I said, okay, I wanted those 3 units directly behind each other. And this worked pretty well for me. We changed the plan every 6 weeks. So we had actually many different plans, where we had high volume, low reps, but where we also had high reps and low volume. So we mixed it all up. We just tried to change the program every 6 weeks to ensure a certain progress. And we also had some high intensity phases. So for example, something like strength and mass week, where you have, I took holiday once where we had 5 training days where we trained 2 times a day. And, this was just a holiday blocked for doing sports. Also, we had intensive training weekends where we had like 6 units in 3 days. Crazy stuff like that. We try to include that every once in a while, just, to get another impulse and to make, it kind of more exciting. And also I try to do 1 or 3 times cardio during the week. I typically, after going to the personal training, I went to the gym afterwards and, you know, stepped on a bike, you know, did some rowing for a couple of minutes. That's typically what I did. So I would say maybe on average 1 to 3 times per week. But this was not part of my training schedule. This was rather at the end, you know, to accelerate the fat loss a little bit. And of course, you shouldn't forget the supplements. And I actually took the supplements with me on the project. So this was kind of funny because, you know, every time at the airport, they got me out of the security line because I had this bag with all of these little pills in it and this powder and, you know, protein powder and stuff like that. So yeah, this was kind of funny, but I took them with me, and what I did was, like, you know, protein shake 1 to 3 a day. This was my range. And also I, you know, took some multivitamins, magnesium and vitamin C. This was my standard supplement repertoire. And I also experimented with some other supplements, but I really mainly stick to those. And this was actually what I did, and this worked pretty well. So you see, it's a very simple plan. Just to summarize, I think you know, nutrition was the most important for me because that was the biggest game changer, and this is also what I see. You know, what where most people probably, or at least I had the biggest improvement potential. So I really tried to fix that. And training was important. You know, and people always ask me, you know, if I hired or if I worked with a personal trainer because of, you know, the crazy training methods. And yes, they certainly are experts in their fields, and I love the gym where I work out. But I think the main reason why I worked with a personal trainer was mainly that they forced me to do it, and, you know, that they forced me to go all out if I was at the gym. And just this consistency that I never had before was probably, like, in terms of training, the biggest contribution to the progress. And supplements, yes, they are important, but probably the least important of all of those 3. Good. Then let's take a look at the results. So here are some pictures that I can share with you from before and after. We had here 2021. This is my front side before and after. Then this is my back before and after. And what you definitely see is that there is more volume, that there is more definition. And at the end, you know, I'm pretty happy with the results, actually. So particularly if you talk about body posture, this is certainly something that I could fix with this bet and with this progress. And I'm very, very happy. So for me, this is more like a foundation. So this is not where it's not that I say, okay, I achieved my goal and this is, you know, where I wanted to be. It's more like, you know, that this is the foundation for more. So probably the next goal is to work on a 6-pack, because as you see, I lost a lot of fat, but it's still not enough fat loss to see the 6-pack. So it's probably then the next step that I want to take, the next maybe bet that I do. And but I'm still very happy, you know. Next step is more definition, and probably after that, you know, building some more muscle to, you know, just, you know, get a little bit bigger and to continue the journey. Because I can tell you, you know, after this year of this very intensive workout sessions, this was really like my place to relax, you know, going to the gym, going all out, hang around with the fitness trainers. This really, you know, was a place for me where I could, you know, focus on something different than work. And this is definitely not only a fitness or health challenge, or it wasn't only a fitness or health challenge, but it was also, like, you know, very good for my mindset. So with that being said, I hope this brought value to you. I hope you liked it. Maybe you just write in the comments, you know, what your questions are. If this brought value, if you are interested in more about that. This is a kind of very, very new topic here on this channel to really talk about, you know, some private things like, you know, my fitness progress. But I see that many consultants are struggling with that. So I thought, okay, why not posting my experiences? Good. With that being said, if you liked it, then please subscribe to the channel. Also leave a thumb up. And I hope you have a very successful day and hope to talk to you soon. Goodbye, Johannes.